All right. We're just going live here. So welcome everybody, anyone tuning in. This is Kevin with the Journey to $100 Million podcast. We're doing a little bit of a different format here, and we're bringing on some guests, talking to other entrepreneurs. And we wanted to go live, do some video as well, and ask anyone has any questions, please ask myself or Lewis here, and we'll be happy to answer those things. And then in the future here, once we get this edited, look for the episode from this on the Journey to $200 Million podcast. So I am joined today by Lewis Newkirk. Lewis, thanks for coming on. And we connected recently, I think through Facebook, through a mutual group that we're part of. And he reached out to me. We had a little bit of conversation, and I said, hey, would you join me on the podcast? So that's how he's here. So Lewis, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into some other questions about business.
Awesome, Kevin. Appreciate it. Once again, thank you for having me on the podcast. Super excited to be here. I know I've shared with you in the past through our last meeting just how much like this kind of outreach really plays a big factor into just what the success in your business and just the success in your life looks like. So I really appreciate you again for having me on here.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we connected, we chatted a little bit and talked about your business, and I got to learn more about you, and you're in Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I'm in Virginia, almost as far away as you can get in the US. So thanks for joining us from all the way over there. And so for everyone listening, I mean, kind of give a little intro, what your business is, what you do. And then after that, I want to get into kind of like, how did you start? What were your, what was the challenges, and what challenges are you facing now, and what do you see going forward? So
yeah, of course. So I run a digital marketing agency called Timu Marketing Agency. We specialize in helping early stage startups and Series A startup SaaS companies really optimize their marketing strategy and their marketing plan with the eventual long-term goal of continued growth as well as eventually additional funding. And I kind of got this start actually in 2019 or middle of 2019, but from more of a legal perspective, established agency in 2020, like right before COVID and everything happened. So a lot of what I was doing was just kind of freelance work, as well as doing other consulting, just to kind of, keep the acumen, keep it strong, keep my finger on the pulse of the industry and that kind of thing. And eventually I just became to the point where I was like, all right, let's go ahead and step out, branch out, and see what you can do on your own. So that's kind of how I got here. And since then, through everything with COVID over 2020, it's been quite the journey. I can definitely say that much.
Well, this is the Journey podcast. So, and it is, I mean, it's entrepreneurship is a journey. It's, there's good, there's bad. But for me, it's the exciting part is, the things that are along the way. So, starting a new business, especially in 2020, is a difficult thing to do. And, not to mention, there's no way any of us would have known, something like that would happen. When I started my business in 2006-ish, I wasn't quite on my own yet. It was probably towards the end. So 2007, then we had the economy crash. So I was not in a similar situation, but I feel like the pandemic was definitely worse of a situation for probably someone starting out new, fresh, because the advantage I had, I was building websites, and I was new and young and cheap. So with the economy crash, people didn't want to spend money. I was a better option probably than a bigger agency or something like that. So I had plenty of work and I was good to go. But so you're fresh in the business for the most part.
Pretty green on the scene.
Started at the worst time possible. So I feel like there's only good things ahead, hopefully, and if you could battle through that and you're still here, that's a good thing. So.
I would definitely agree with that. I was talking to one of my mentors, and he told me the same thing. He's like, honestly, I don't think it can get much worse for a business than trying to survive and survive and thrive through COVID. So if you can, if you're still here through that, I mean, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, it's a good test, right? So, and I think one of the things that I've we've asked people before, other business owners, is, how are you preparing for a recession or a crash, or how are you preparing your business for that? And I feel like most people will say, I don't have a plan. I don't, you just kind of think about, I'm going to keep going and this is never going to change. So, I would think you're starting out very aware that something like this could happen at any point in time and you have no control of it. Economy crash, real estate crash, whatever. So hopefully that's a good thing in your case, that you'll be a little bit more aware and prepared.
So. Yeah, I would definitely say that one of the things I've learned how to do in starting my business, because I started like file all of the legal documentation, everything, January of 2020, like right before my birthday. And I was just like, all right, just get the ball rolling, get the year started, and power through like the first quarter and just see how things go. And right in March, I think it was like March 5th or 13th or something like that, state lockdown happened. So halted all momentum and halted everything. But it kind of gave me, like, all the lessons I learned in 2020, kind of gave me that mentality of just like how to be scrappy, how to run a lean operation, how to, make the most out of what you've got in order to take that and then put it into something else. So
I love that. Yeah, I love that a lot. So yeah, you have to be lean. You have to scrappy. You have to, get yourself out there. You have to do whatever it takes. So I think that's an awesome lesson right there for you. And I think a lot of people, I've been part of some of the businesses in my past, but a lot of people like to go in and day one, get an office, get all this stuff, get all this overhead, and they haven't even made any money yet or had any success yet. And it's more about what it looks like to be a business owner versus like running a successful business. So love it all the way through. That's that's at the heart of entrepreneurship right there. So everything you just said was great. So so give me a little bit more detail on your ideal customer. So I know me and you chatted prior, but who are you looking for? As anyone listening, we have a lot of entrepreneurs that listen. Startups. I think mainly in the SaaS industry. But give us, what's your ideal customer? Who would you be looking for, and who can you help?
Yeah. So initially, when I first started my business, I was more of a generalist. My background's kind of like all over the sphere of marketing, specifically though in like market research. So like analyzation of exactly what your target audience, and then your perfect product suite. That was kind of like the niche area that I was going for, but specifically not within like a targeted market. And so like through varying conversations, after like helping, fashion designers to e-commerce stores to healthcare and private wellness clients, I was just like, I should probably niche down into, where's my passion lie? What am I good at? What have I been in the world of, and what I've been indoctrinated in? And I've been doing consulting for Microsoft over the last almost 4 years now. So I've got kind of like that good, solid mindset and skill set in SaaS and what SaaS looks like. And so currently I've kind of like niched down into specifically trying to assist and help startup SaaS companies really just kind of grow their business from what it looks like, from identification of perfect product suite to then your subsequent perfect avatar to then how to provide, and tailor your service for them. So that's who I've been going after. So anyone who's like received less than like 100K in funding type of thing, that kind of mentality, people who are bootstrapping, early stage startups, people like that.
Okay. Okay. That's more specific there. Okay. So you're looking for someone that has some funding or has received some funding, versus someone that's just like, hey, I'll have $100. What am I going to do? So you have some qualifications
Of
that you're
course,
looking
yeah.
for, because you probably can't help someone that has no significant funding.
Mhm.
So is that 100 or less? Is it your target, or is it 100 or more?
100 or more.
Okay.
However, there are things that I can do to assist you with, whether it be something as simple as just like one-on-one consultation for like an hour or something like that. If you need like if you just need to spend like a day with me and just like go over or learn, like where is the holes in my like in my marketing plan, things like that. Like I run a marketing boot camp that's 3 hours, where we sit down, we go through and discuss like your entire customer value journey, your customer avatar from the before state all the way through to their after state, as well as ideal demographics, what it actually looks like to be that customer, then subsequently put them through the journey of what it looks like to go through and acquire and utilize like your tools in your business. So
Really cool.
there are ways I can help people who haven't received like that level of funding. People who are still like scrounging up money or just know a few angel investors and things like that. But ideally, try to look for like larger term projects.
Excellent, man. That's okay. So that helps us out there. So anyone, you got some funding, you started up, that's what you're doing full time. If not, Lewis can probably still help. I think also, Lewis, I think it's good to have yeah, multiple ways people can work with you. Sometimes if they're the lower level, maybe it's mentoring or coaching or
Hmm.
boot camps. I love that, to where they can at least get exposure, because they might be able to come back a year from now or 6 months and say, "Hey, I got that funding I need, and now I'm ready to hire you." So
Yeah, I've definitely noticed a just in the people who. So again, before I started Timu and everything, I was doing a lot of work for just like friends and stuff like that. Just like get reviews, get people to be like vouch for the ability that I have, as well as just like helping friends out, honestly, because that's the type of person I am. If you need help, I'd love to help you. And if I can't help you, I have to see if I can find somebody who can. So like with that mentality and that mindset, it just kind of ingrained in me like, hey, no one succeeds on their own. I'm not like I'm not I wouldn't call myself a successful person yet, but I have a mentality for that, and I want to help others succeed. Like I want to be their biggest and their loudest cheerleader. So in any way I can help somebody, like I love to.
well, that's always a winning strategy there, to help people out, and a good network. Which if you help people out, then they're going to help you out, and referrals and all those good things. So that's going to be a good way to go for sure. Um, give me a background on the name of the company.
Yeah, so I really wanted something to kind of like cement the idea and the whole mentality of like a team and what it looks like to be a team, like what teams mean. I think it's like being there for someone, being there for one another, camaraderie, all of that kind of mentality, and like something to encompass that. And I couldn't find a word in English that I
Okay.
felt it felt like that. So Timu is actually the word team in Swahili, um, and so from there, it just everything just kind of felt right. Well, like making that choice is like the name, where you're like, this is what I envision this company or this entity, this idea being 5 years down the road. I just really feel like that kind of full amalgamation of just what it means to come together.
Actually, there's always a story behind the name. So no, that's good. That you got to feel good and strong about that. And it's always interesting to find to hear how people came up with the name, or what it means to them.
Yeah.
So really cool. Well, for anyone watching and for the episode, what's if you could ask anyone that can reach out to you, or what you're looking for, how we can help you, how our audience can help you, what would it be?
Um, well, as far as being able to reach out to me, you can definitely check out the website, timumarketing.com. Really simple. Um, all of the contact information, all the info on there. Everything goes to me. Um, so like, you're not talking to like some random bot or someone who doesn't know the business or isn't part of the business. Not you. You're getting straight from the source, as they say, straight from the horse's mouth. As far as like what people can do, what kind of help they can provide, like I'm always willing to have conversations, always willing to talk, whether it's business related or not business related. If you want to talk about the weather, honestly, if you want to talk about sports, first off, go Heat. Big Miami fan. You've seen the mug from Florida.
Oh, yeah.
That's. But in all seriousness, though, I really do feel like consistent communication and just meeting new people, things like that. Like that's the best way to help somebody is just talk to somebody.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you heard that. So interested in his business or just talking to him, talk about entrepreneurship. I know, me and Lewis talked the other day just about business. So there was no real, agenda. I just got off the call. I called a minute ago with a guy who travels to this area every once in a while and had a great conversation with him and just through LinkedIn connected. And I said, yeah, let's talk for 15 minutes. So I think opening yourself up to that is always great. And the guy was actually like, oh, I can refer you to a company that is perfect for your ideal customer. So not that I asked for that, but he had, it made him think, oh, wait, I can refer you to somebody.
Yeah.
So I think great message. Yeah. Talk to people, have conversations. That's what networking is all about. That's how building a power base and is all about and having people that are looking out for you. So
definitely. And if there's anything that I can provide to anybody like that, if you are looking from a services perspective, I would recommend always attend my marketing bootcamp first. I actually send all my clients through that before we do anything. Like that's the base work of just getting to know your business, know yourself, and then get to know me even. So if you are looking for kind of like an introductory to what it looks like to work with Timu Marketing Agency, I've got a full outline of what that bootcamp looks like and everything on the website. So feel free to take a look at that.
Awesome. All right, everyone out there with the SaaS, go check that out and reach out to Lewis and connect with him. So as far as connecting with, is LinkedIn a good spot for people to connect with you?
Oh, definitely. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, at least from a communication perspective. Definitely trying to be more so on the content perspective. As they say, 98% of the content is done by 2% of the people on there. So I'm trying to be part of that 2%.
Yeah, I'm making a point to do the same thing. I'm on LinkedIn all the time. I message back and forth a lot. I do content here and there, but not as much as I want to do. So I need to work on that too. So
hey, we can hold each other accountable. There we go.
You can always do more content. Gary Vee would tell you 100 posts a day, right?
Right.
So, all right, Louis. Well, thanks so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about your story. I think it's a great message. And for anyone that's looking to jump and start a business, right? Just remember, Louis started at the beginning of 2020 and he's still here, still ready to roll. So only up from here. So
exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for sharing your story. And you'll be on the podcast soon. So everybody check that out when it comes out and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. I really appreciate you for having me again on here, Kevin. Thank you so much.
Hey, yes, sir.